Well, despite the cultural food mosaic we see in our country, lunchbox shaming is a common issue to the tune of 1 in 4. These numbers compiled by Sistema.
Joining us live now today, which is also Love Your Lunch Day, is Janet Nezon, founder of Rainbow Plate. Janet, thank you so much for coming in this morning. You know, it's surprising to me to hear about these numbers. 1 in 4 children kind of still facing lunchbox shaming, and it's mostly in racialized communities or students. I mean, when I was young, I remember my mother packed me like a sandwich, but it had pork floss in it, and she'd smear it with butter. I hated it, but I was always self-conscious. I was like, oh my gosh, are people going to be wondering, what am I opening up here? Are they going to complain if I bring rice and fish in my lunchbox? So this is obviously still a prevalent issue. What are you seeing in your numbers?
It's a huge issue, and as we said, Sistema's research found that 1 in 4 Canadian children experienced it. In those racialized communities that you mentioned, the numbers are actually higher, almost 40%. And what's upsetting about it is that when this happens to children, almost half of them reported going home to their parents and asking them to change their lunches.
So what sort of form does the shaming take? Is it sort of like when they open up, like sitting at the lunch table, kind of mocking and insults? Is that sort of what we're talking about here?
I mean, kids reacting to appearances or smells of food that are unfamiliar or strong. And what we've heard is that children are hearing, ooh, that's gross, or what is that? So sort of not knowing what it is and making negative comments to it. And it's really hurtful for kids because these foods reflect their culture, their family's traditions, their history, in some cases, their economic reality. So that's really hurtful for children.
Okay, so what can parents do? What can schools do to kind of reverse this trend? I know food literacy is kind of your specialty, but I mean, is the solution to go to school? I mean, you can't even pack a peanut butter sandwich because peanuts and allergies, but I mean, I don't think changing the food is a good option, is it?
It's not what we want. Sistema Food Storage created Love Your Lunch Day to celebrate food diversity because every child should feel comfortable enjoying the foods they love at school. It's really a day about celebrating food diversity, about standing up to lunch shaming, and about embracing those diverse and rich cultural foods. So on the website, loveyourlunchday.ca, there's some free downloadable resources for teachers and parents that I helped create, and there are lots of activities and ideas there. This is actually what the what the resources look like. But parents and teachers both have similar roles. For starters, talk about it. Raise this, make sure that your kids are aware that it's not okay. And in both cases also, we really want adults to be leading by example, to model food acceptance, to set the norms that all food is good food. And then in both settings, at home and in the classroom, to really help kids lean into that diversity and celebrate it. So there's lots of specific ideas.
I mean, Janet, you know, when my kids come home, I sort of empty their lunch boxes or whatever and sort of see what they've eaten or whatever. I mean, if you sort of start noticing perhaps that your children aren't eating their food, is that kind of an example? But I'm curious about the next step there in terms of how do you start that conversation if you're a parent? Because, you know, if this is food that you just typically serve, you grew up with yourself, you may not realize that this is even happening, but there are hints.
There are hints. So just like you said, noticing lunches coming home uneaten. If kids are shamed or embarrassed by their food, as you said, they're not eating them or they're hiding them, and kids need food to fuel their day at school. We also know that lunch shaming affects what happens at lunch, if this is occurring, affects a child's overall well-being at school. So and there are all these tips are on the website and the parent resources. So start the conversation, have a gentle opening about what's happening at school, but then also lean into your lunch, lean into the foods that your family loves. And so there's a lot of suggestions for helping kids to understand more about their cultural foods and what makes them so special so that they can talk about them in ways that reflect their pride. There's tons of ideas also on the website and the resources for teachers to create activities in the classroom celebrating the lunches we love and really using a curious approach to food where we don't talk about good and bad and judgmental elements about food, but rather explore it with all the senses. Every lunch tells a story, and we want every child to feel comfortable sharing their story and their family's food.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no child should feel ashamed about, the food they use to, gain nutrition and fuel their bodies. Thank you so much for coming in this morning, Janet.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. And yeah, a great message to spread on Love Your Lunch Day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Janet.